It has been a busy offseason for the San Francisco Giants as they look to improve on last year's success. We sit down with the man who's been put in charge of improving the Giants' offense.
There's got to be a nickname to go with this, you know, and I said, well, my friends at home call me Bam Bam. He says, that's it, so you put it down.
Pablo Sandoval has a career .333 batting average, but his offseason regimen has him expecting even bigger things in 2010. Would you gain 1 pound when you were there?
Yeah, just get a 1 pound boy, get him muscle. That was one of those things, you know. I'm laughing, it's true.
We'll talk to the creator and the subject of Operation Panda.
And one of the things we did was take them for a walk through the city. People were beeping the horn, yelling at them, and it was pretty cool.
From San Ramon Valley High School in Danville to right field at AT&T Park, what a journey. Nate Schierholtz will tell us what it's like to play for his hometown team.
Growing up as a fan, you know how much it means playing teams like that. And, you know, I was in the stands for a long time, just waiting, you know, to play one day. And you know, luckily I'm here.
This and more coming up on Inside the Clubhouse, The Hitters. Feels like opening day already, doesn't it? Spring training just a week away. Welcome back to Inside the Clubhouse, The Hitters. And we have brought in one of the Giant young hitters in the lineup this year. You know him from San Ramon Valley High School, the pride of Danville, California. Say hello to Nate Schierholtz. Well, you look like you're in terrific shape, Nate. What have you done this offseason? I know you went down to Puerto Rico a little bit to play a little winter baseball this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously got a lot to prove. You know, we didn't end up, you know, achieving our goals last season. So this off season, I got to work early. I took their recommendations to go play in Puerto Rico and got 6 solid weeks of baseball in. And since then, moved back to San Francisco, and you know, I've been training here 5 days a week, and I couldn't be in better shape.
We're just a week out before spring training when you guys go down to Scottsdale, and things are obviously subject to change in professional sports. But the way it's set up right now, for the first time in your career, you can think that you're going to be an everyday player. Last year, you were mostly a 4th outfielder. So from a conditioning standpoint, does that alter anything you do, knowing that you're going to, you know, last year 61 starts, 285 at-bats. This year you'll maybe get more. Do you have to get yourself in better shape for the long grind that 162 games will afford you?
I think so. I mean, every offseason I treat very seriously. I love staying in shape in general, and you know, it's not hard for me to work out 5-6 days a week. But I think this offseason, you know, I had a little taste of playing every day here and there last season, and I think it's driven me, you know, to work twice as hard this offseason, and you know, putting in work in Puerto Rico and then coming back here. I really haven't put down a bat or a ball the whole offseason. So, you know, I'm just really excited to get spring training underway and, you know, show what I can do and show that, you know, I've made adjustments to where I believe that, you know, from the last day of the season, I've treated it like I'm going to be the starting right fielder. So
you hit 5 home runs last year, but the one that I remember more than others, and you probably feel the same way, is the one that did not go over the fence. The one against the Oakland A's here in middle June. Jack Cust had a little bit of a tough time with right field. That's the first time you've ever hit an inside the park home run where there are actual fences on the field, right? So what was that like to hit an inside the park? Because not many guys have done that in this ballpark's history.
The first word that comes to mind is exhausting. I saw Flannery waving me home, and I think he was running faster from third to home than I was. But no, I hit it off another Olympian that I played with in the Olympics last year in Beijing. And it was exciting. I mean, I hit the ball well and got out of the box hard, like I was going for a triple, and got a few lucky bounces, and that was that. But it was exciting. I mean, I love playing the A's and the Dodgers. It just, you know, you have that much more energy because growing up as a fan, you know how much it means playing teams like that. And, you know, I was in the stands for a long time, just waiting, you know, to play one day, and you know, luckily I'm here. 10 outfield assists last year. They seem to come in bunches, but people forget that you were primarily coming up in the minor leagues the first couple of years at third baseman. So how was that adjustment to go from playing in the infield to learning to play the outfield and also play right field? It wasn't too difficult. I think, the infield's a lot more intense as far as, being ready every pitch. Obviously, it's the same in the outfield, but, I adapted pretty quick. I moved to the outfield in single A, and I've had maybe 4 years in the outfield now. So, I mean, we put a lot of work in that fans don't see, before the game, hours before the game, and I think that, with work comes, it shows off in the game. So, I take pride in my defense and pride in my arm, and I try to keep it strong all the time and help our pitchers out.
Well, the Giants definitely made the right move by moving you out to the outfield, and in particular right field. They have a pretty good young third baseman on the way as well, Pablo Sandoval. He'll be appearing coming up a little bit later on with Dave Greshner, and we need you to come back a little bit later on. We're going to have a Q&A with our live studio audience here inside the clubhouse. And coming up directly inside the clubhouse, the hitters, we're going to introduce you to the new hitting coach of the San Francisco Giants. I love his nickname already. For a hitting coach, you want a guy called Bam Bam. Hensley Mullins is next as Inside the Clubhouse. The Hitters continues. I think this guy's going to like the live studio audience here. Welcome back to Inside the Clubhouse, the offseason. And one of the Giants' big moves this offseason came on November the 2nd when they hired Hensley Bam Bam Mullins to be their new hitting instructor. And here he is, the new hitting coach of your Giants fans, Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. I got to ask you, he hasn't done anything yet. Wait till he improves this offense before we start giving him the big cheers here. I got to ask you about the nickname right away.
Okay.
Good name for a hitting coach, good name for a guy who played in the major leagues as long as you did. Where did Bam Bam come from?
Well, Bam Bam came from being a teenager back home. I'm from a small island in the Caribbean, by the way. Only 140,000 people. But I was a very good baseball player from young. But at this time, I was playing softball with some of my friends. And they thought I was as strong as the Bam Bam from the Flintstones. So they started calling me Bam Bam then. I was like 14 years old, 15 years old. And then when I signed at 18 years old, I left the island, signed with the Yankees. I came to the States, and I had to fill a questionnaire. And there was a space where you had to put a nickname in, and I left it open. So just like you're saying, Hensley Mullins, the person that took the questionnaire says, there's got to be a nickname to go with this. And I said, well, my friends at home call me Bam Bam. He says, that's it. So you put it down, Bam Bam. So nobody calls me Hensley. Nobody even know that my first name is Hensley.
So Hensley, let me ask you. No. We just got to explain to Pablo what the heck the Flintstones are, I think. That'll be the first thing. All these different types of baseball that you were able to observe, how has that developed your mind as far as teaching the game of hitting, all the different experiences you've had as a player in your career?
Well, I think I was put on the earth for a reason, and being a coach now, and it makes me teach, and having played in every league in the world except the Taiwanese league, prepare me for this moment, and but I made sure that I wrote everything down every day of my playing career, and I wrote notes, and I kept everything together. I have 17 agendas of the 17 years I played, and I can go back any day of any year and tell you what I did on that day. And also, that's why I'm organized to where I make guys do it as we go along with my players. I want them to be prepared. I want them to learn themselves, and I want them to be their own best coaches.
You spent the entire year last year at AAA with the Giants team in Fresno, but you came up at the end of the year. I remember seeing you around the yard in September. So much is made of the Giants' approach to hitting last year in particular, that they're so aggressive. They don't take any pitches. What is your overall philosophy on that? Is that something you're going to try to change a little bit, to have this team be more selective in the at-bat, try to take it deeper into the at-bat, or wait for a more quality pitch to swing? Or are you the type of guy who believes, rip it and grip it, regrip it and rip it, and the first good one you see, if it's a good one, jump on it?
Well, You know, if you see our personnel, you still have the same guys basically from last year. I mean, it's hard to change somebody from swing to take. You know, it's you know, there's got to be a happy medium. My thing is going to be, let's get a better pitch to hit. Let's get a better pitch to hit. That's essentially is going to get into deeper counts and perhaps more walks, perhaps more guys on base, and that's going to translate into more runs. And you know, as you guys well know, you know, with our pitching, if we score more runs, you know, we're going to win more games.
We're going to come back in a little bit later on. We're going to have a Q&A with Pablo and Dave Greshner and Nate Schierholtz. But coming up directly, we are going to go Operation Panda. You've read about it in the offseason. How much weight has he lost? What does he look like? What's the hairstyle like? Pablo Sandoval is next as we continue on Inside the Clubhouse, the Hitters. Welcome back inside the Giants clubhouse here at AT&T Park. And welcome back to Inside the Clubhouse, the Hitters. And we have one of the very best hitters right now in baseball. In his first full year in the major leagues, folks, he had .330, 44 doubles, 5 triples, 25 homers, and 90 RBI. Say hello to Pablo Sandoval. I think you know him. What do you think of his new hairdo? You like this new hairstyle? You didn't wear that under the cap last year, did you? What's going on here, Pablo?
No, I got a new look, you know. I just tried something different. I getting tired of getting that.
It looks good. What are we calling that? The faux hawk? That's
No,
kind of the fade meets the mohawk?
The mohawk.
It's the mohawk? What do you call that?
Mohawk.
Just a pure mohawk?
Yeah.
It's got a little fade on the side, though. I got to see Dave Greshner in that hairdo. Could you get Gresh in that?
Yeah.
He would look good in that.
Yeah, he look good.
Take us to the World Series, I'll do it.
You hear that play? Okay. Here we go. So is that a fact? If the Giants go to the World Series this year, you're going to the Mohawk, Gresh?
I'll do it. That's
do
what
it?
it takes.
Well, he's the guy that's going to lead them there if they do get it. Tell me about the offseason a little bit. We read a lot about it in the early part of the offseason, Operation Panda. Exactly, Dave, we'll start with you. What has Pablo been doing this offseason? Because he looks lean and mean and a fighting machine. What have you been doing with this guy?
Yeah, he's getting there, that's for sure. Well, I think a lot of people know he came in November for 3 weeks. And it was strictly just fitness and education, nutrition, trying to get him in a little bit better shape and really work with him on eating better and working out and doing the right things in the off season. And then he went and played winter ball back in Venezuela for a while and just recently came back to us in Arizona, and we've been in Arizona getting back after it. He's been doing all his baseball work, but a lot of conditioning and back on a good meal plan again.
And you look good. Everybody, I got to tell you, they were all concerned when you went back to Venezuela. We're gonna gain all the weight back, but it looks like you didn't. What'd you gain, 1 pound when you were there?
Yeah, just getting 1 pound, boy, getting muscle. That was one of those things, you know. I'm laughing, it's true. But one of those things I just been learning when I was in Arizona. I just learned how to eat. I get back to home, start telling my mom, I have to eat for portion. It's not for you, Mom, but it's my career. I want to be longer here in baseball, you know. I start doing better things than I've been doing right now.
So it's Mrs. Sandoval we should thank for this, huh? She's kept you on the diet. You would pig out, so to speak, have one big meal on Sundays, but from Monday through Saturday, you were pretty strict to the diet. Is that the way it worked?
Yes. Sunday was my day. One day a week, you know, but I feel great. I feel excited to be here, you know, be part of on this working. I think this is gonna be for me right now. For the season, when the season starts, I'm gonna feel great.
Hitting cleanup this year. I mean, that's the plan going into the year. Last year, you were the number 3 hitter. Does that change anything that you're thinking about? Do you feel like you got to be more power conscious to be that big cleanup hitter in the middle of the lineup?
No, I just wanna keep doing my work. You know, I wanna keep doing what we do it last year. Don't change nothing. You know, I wanna keep with my mind what I've been doing.
How has the season that you had last year and the success that you had changed your life? I know you were at a Sharks game recently. You got to drop the puck there, and even going back home. I mean, can you even walk the streets now, your homeland, without people knowing who you are and coming up to you now?
No, it's tough, you know. When I get back home, it's tough to walking in the street. Everybody know you right now. Venezuela, everybody start getting crazy. But I feel sad, you know. One of those guys, keep my feet on the ground, say hi to everybody, and keep doing what you're doing.
How about walking around the streets of San Francisco? Does everybody know the Panda now? When you show up, he's everywhere, Gresh. He's just he's the mayor of the city now.
You know, back in December, we brought him up here for a week, and he worked out with the rookie guys. And one of the things we did was take him for a walk through the city. It was me, Ben, our strength coach, his brother Michael, and Pablo. And we walked the city for about 40 minutes. And people were beeping the horn, yelling at him, and it was pretty cool.
Teenage girls screeching every time he walks by. It's tough being you, isn't it? You're having fun doing this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Having the time of your life.
Yes.
And you're doing it in front of these fans here in San Francisco. All right, we are going to open it up to the audience, have a little Q&A coming up, so stay right where you are. We're going to bring Hensley back, we're going to bring Nate back, and we're going to take a Q&A with the great fans of the San Francisco Giants. So stay right where you are. The fans take over on Inside the Clubhouse, the hitters.
Hi, my name is Jamie, and I live in Daly City. My question is more about the mental aspects of the game. I wanted to know, what do you guys do when, because you have to have a bad night at the plate sometimes. I mean, we all wish it never happened, but it's a fact of the game. So what do you do to move on after you've had a bad night? And then likewise, when you get on a hitting streak, do you have any, do you buy into the baseball superstitions? You don't change your undershirt or your socks or something. Do you have any of those?
Yeah. I got it. If I gotta gain this three, I just keep using the batting glove I've been using.
What do you do after that rare bad game, Pablo? If you have an 0 for 4 one night, are you a bad guy to be around, a tough guy to be around the next day?
No. Tomorrow's the next day.
Anyway.
Yeah, tomorrow's next day, another day. Come play hard on the same way you play.
She asked about the superstitions in baseball, and there's more superstitions in baseball than any sport. If you have a 3-hit night, are you inclined to come back the next day and eat the same things, work out the same time?
Cheetos
Really?
have a lot of hits in them.
Cheetos?
Yeah.
Cheetos are good raking? Munchie?
No, yeah, I think a lot of us are superstitious, so, whatever works in the kitchen usually, gets eaten more often. We're playing well. So.
He was just kidding about the Cheetos, Bobby. That's off the diet.
Come on, Nate.
You're
You're not helping me out.
Is that on the diet, Gresh?
Nate's not helping us right now.
He's got the ice cream freezer.
There's a lot of hits and bananas too, Pablo.
What do we got next? We're on a roll here.
This question is for Pablo. We all have seen you swing at pitches that look like nobody should be able to even get a bat on them, and yet drive them hard into a gap. I'm just curious, what is your approach at the plate when you step in the box? Are you just looking for a pitch you can get the barrel on, or are you looking for a specific pitch in a location, or is it just see the ball, hit the ball?
That one, the last one. See the ball, hit the ball. I think this is gonna hit what's there. I step in the box. I just gonna looking for pitch. I say I wanna look for change at this time. But I'm wrong. I swing everything. I just see the ball and hit it. That's what I do. Try to get a base hit every time. Forget the walks. That's what I try to do. But this year is gonna be different, I have to get more patient.
You are?
Yeah. I've been talking that with Bam Bam. We're working out in winter ball.
You're nodding your head. I want to see it. Because he's got a strike zone from his nose to his toes, we call it.
Well,
And he can drive the ball.
Well, if you look at the numbers, in the second half of the season, he walked quite a bit more than he did in the first half of the season last year. So what we talked about during winter ball all winter was for him to try to stay back a little longer and see the ball a little deeper, and that perhaps is going to make him swing at his pitch more often than not, than swinging at all the other pitches over his head and bouncing off. But he's aware that he has to narrow down his zone a little bit, but you also don't want to take his aggressiveness away from him, because that's what makes him the big panda, right? But I mean, he had a 80 on base percentage last year, which is very, very, very high. If you take away that he doesn't walk very much, imagine if he walked 30, 40 more times. You know, that's pretty special. And then his average will go up too.
Did you try that this year in Venezuela in the Winter League? Were you trying to be more patient?
Yeah, I hated 395.
We know you can hit 390. We know you can hit 400. What was your on base though?
395 in the regular season, but 477 in the playoffs.
Whoa. He can hit.
You can hit.
We always knew he could hit. Who's next?
For Pablo, what's your favorite dish that your mom makes to help or doesn't help you stay on the diet?
Good question.
Lasagna. Yeah,
She makes a killer lasagna, huh?
the best one.
My mom's pretty good. Now, why is your mom's better than my mom's?
No, my mom's better
mom's
than
is
your
better?
mom. Yeah.
What makes it special? What does she put in there?
I don't know. I think it's a lot she put it. How she make it.
It's your mom, and you got to say that. Rex, let him have his mom's lasagna once in a while, would you?
He can have it as much as he wants, like, as long as it's the right portion size.
Don't tell Mama that.
We're working on that.
No, Mama knows. She's on board now, right?
Yeah.
Resh, keep this guy in line, would you?
We're working on it.
And he said, remember, he vouched here, folks, if they go to the World Series this year. Pablo, keep smiling, man. Nobody like him. Pablo Sandoval, Nate, have a great year. We'll see you again. That's it for Inside the Clubhouse. The hitters, thanks for your time, and thanks to the fans of the San Francisco Giants. We'll see you in Scottsdale, and we'll see you here in the month of April at AT&T Park. Thanks for your time.